Happy Monday, Team Impact. Hope you had a nice weekend. We're going to get started this week with the next lesson. Not quite sure what it is. I guess lesson 5 maybe. Absolute value. So it's a new term for you. Hey, let's get after this thing and let's have a great week this week, okay? All right. Let's get started here. The absolute value of a number is the distance away from zero. The absolute value of a number is the distance away from zero on the number line. It is always positive because it refers to the distance, right? So this is read, the absolute value of -5 is, all right, 5. All right, so the absolute value of -5 is 5. All right, and that's what it is how it's read. The absolute, I'm not feeling too good this morning, value of -5. So an example, the absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5. That's its distance from 0. If you went back to this, that's what we're talking about. They have the same absolute value because it's 5 spaces away from 0. So the absolute value of any numbers, it's positive. Okay? Let's get started here. Alrighty here. Use the number line to plot points A through E. Letter A. What is the absolute value of -8? All right, well, the absolute value of -8 is 8. The absolute value of -1 is 1 because it has a distance of 1 from. The absolute value of 3 is 3, and you're getting the idea. The absolute value of -4.5 is 4.5. Okay? Alrighty. Let's continue on here. Number 1, inequality, less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay? So the absolute value of this is 4 9/10. The absolute value of this is 5. It's a less than sign. This is 10. This is 10. It's an equal sign. This is 36. This is 19. It's a greater than sign. The absolute value of -9 2/3 is 9 2/3. This is 9. It's a greater than sign. Okay? So we're just looking at the absolute value of the number, the number's distance from 0. A football team loses 20 yards on a quarterback sack. Write the absolute value to represent the change in yards. The absolute value of 20 is 20, right? So write the absolute value. I guess they want us to do that. A submarine submerges and travels 120 feet below sea level. Submerge means under. Write the absolute value to represent the change in depth. Okay? This can get a little bit tricky, but you have to learn to write it. These are straight bars, not parentheses. That means something else. All right, let's take a peek here at the second page. The opposite of a number is the same distance away from 0, but always on the other side of the number line. It can be either positive or negative. Okay. So the number is -1. The absolute value is 1 because it's 1 space from 0, and the opposite of -1 is 1. The number here looks to be -9. The absolute value is 9, and the opposite is 9, the opposite of -9. Okay, the next one. It shows 1 and 5/10, right between it. The absolute value is 1 and 5/10, and the opposite is 1 and 5/10. Go ahead and do the last one. The interval here, so 6, 8, there's 7. That looks to be about 7.5. So 7.5, its absolute value is 7.5, or 7 and 5/10. Its opposite is negative 7 and 5/10. Okay? So now we'll start to get in some number lines and look at these intervals a little bit differently, okay? All right, next up, several clues are given to describe various points on the number line. Determine which number the clue is describing and mark the point on the number line. Point A. Point A is 10 away from 0 and its opposite of negative 10. Well, this looks to be 0 and the interval here is 5, right? So point A is 10 away from 0 and it's the opposite of negative 10. I'm going to put it right there. It's positive 10. The opposite of point B is positive. Its absolute value is 15. Okay? The opposite of B is positive, so that means I'm at negative. Its absolute value is 15, so we're at negative 15. Point C is 20 away from 0, and its opposite of negative 20. Point C is 20 away from 0. Here's negative, but it's opposite of negative 20. So we've got to go ahead and do that. That's point C, not D. I apologize. A little foggy here. This is cold. The opposite of point D is negative. Its absolute value is 5. Well, it's going to be 5. The opposite of it is negative, and that is point D. Okay. All right. Number 9. Nikki places 4 different numbers on a number line. What point represents the absolute value of negative 2/3? The absolute value of negative 2/3. Well, here's one. If this is split into 3 equal sections, 1, 2, and 3, 1/3, 2/3 has to be below, so it's going to be point C. I just made a mistake. I didn't take the absolute value. I apologize. It's the absolute value of it, so it's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. It's point D. Point D. Okay, last one. The magic number is negative 45. Mark each statement below as true or false. The opposite of the magic number is 45. Well, yeah. It doesn't say absolute, yeah. So, true. Negative 45 represents the absolute value of the magic number. No. The absolute value of the number is 45. False. The magic number is 45 units away from 0. Yes. All right. True. Okay. So the lesson wasn't too bad. Okay. Glad I caught a couple of those mistakes I made. It's Monday. Let's flip the page and take a peek at what you have going on today, which is this right here. Okay. 1 through 9. Okay. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you.